Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the Oakland Raiders. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And a good effort on the return there gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
On first, they go right back to Howard. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Cordray Tankersley on the stop defensively.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Watch it now, Barney!
On 1st down, they run with Howard. And an alley to run. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down. Lynch looking to throw on 2nd. Throw taken in by Taylor left side. And they'll get this down to the 10. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Lynch with it on 3rd and goal. And that is incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Bullock will put this one through, and the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Sony Michel, his first carry. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. On 4th down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that'll help him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Watch you now, Barney! Barney!
On second down, Lynch. That will complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. On third down, that's Hines. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Lynch on first down. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. From the shotgun, it's Lynch. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On first down, it's Lynch. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. On the handoff, this is Howard. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On third down, Lynch. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. On 1st and 10, it's Lynch. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. In for the score. And the Raiders add on to their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Dolphins' offense now heads back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. He finds Randall Cobb on the completion. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Let's go.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Gordon. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory, right at the 40. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Reset. Hey, easy.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Michel. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get it.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
First foray into the red zone for Miami. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7.
319! 319!
On play action. Now Rodgers. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. James O'Shaughnessy, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins able to get this back within a touchdown.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Zerline out now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Throwing here, Lynch on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Second and 10, it's Lynch again. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Deo Buchanan. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. He has just been alone for opposing offenses to account for now 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
Throwing is Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. A give. This is Michel. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A 4-yard pickup that gets him going forward, but still 15 yards left on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. That's Gordon. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Rodgers to throw again. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Rodgers again now. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
58.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Being chased out left. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. And they will run it with Michel. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Sony Michel with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Dolphins are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Here comes Rodgers now as he'll go for the 2-point conversion. Here's a toss coming right. And he got it on the touchdown run, but he won't get in here. He'll be stopped short, and they'll come up empty on the try for 2. Zerline out now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Raiders. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
Detroit! 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 All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Detroit! Detroit!
They'll throw on first down with Lynch. Going deep here for Taylor. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. A big play there as the first half is winding down. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. So they're able to capture the lead here just before halftime.
And not only that, they get the ball to start the second half.
That's right.
This is almost like basketball down the stretch, right, where you get the 2-for-1 situation where you try and get 2 shots to your opponent's 1. In this situation, they got the touchdown. They'll get another shot at to start the second half.
Could be a big turnaround. Bullock out now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
On first down, Rodgers. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. He's going to loft one deep over the... And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And he will be out of bounds as time has run out on this first half. So we've reached halftime here in Oakland with the Raiders on top. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. They start the second half with Michelle on the ground. And it's a fumble. And the Raiders have recovered. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. Following the fumble recovery, here's Lynch. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at the 14. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. He's going to let this one go deep. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
58.
Rodgers throwing again. On the left side, Gallup's got it. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one goes for 24 yards.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a pitch out to Michelle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 46. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Rodgers. Going to throw again. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and the Raiders have recovered.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Here's Hines. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They pitch out to Howard. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Detroit!
Throwing on 1st down. Lynch. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Gerald Everett, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead.
Remember the one-dimensional tight ends who just put their hand in the ground and block people? Well, if you're that guy now, you're probably a fullback in an I-formation offense. These tight ends nowadays can do everything. Block, run, and catch. Beautiful connection for a touchdown.
Bullock out now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So now here come the Dolphins. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
Hey. 4 down.
A give to Howard. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Detroit!
On second down, Lynch. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The Raiders on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Everyone's got 4 down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on third down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Zoom.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. To Michel on the dump off. And a nice spin into some open field. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football.
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Rodgers now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 28. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now in the East Bay. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. They go with Howard again. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They go play action here on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A good pickup there, a 22. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. And now Lynch. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Dalvin Tomlinson in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Throwing now is Rodgers. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now Rodgers got to have this one. And no, It's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And goodness, that means this next drive is going to begin first and goal already at the 5-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. But they can thank their defense for another stop. And now look at the score, where they've got the football. They're looking pretty good.
They're looking excellent because now you're thinking to yourself, let's just take some time off the clock. Work it down.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Jordan Howard, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders add on to their lead. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. Saying, all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
All right, let's go, come on. 57.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And that's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Second and 10 now from the 27.
Let's go, hey, let's go, come on.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. They'll check this one down to Michelle. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. And again, it's Rodgers. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They begin the drive with Hines. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. On the toss play, Howard. Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. The tackle made there by Dayon Buchanan.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now Howard. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Lynch to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. But you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Rodgers. He's going to let it fly. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
To throw is Rodgers. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Hurry up.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and the Raiders pick it up past the 20.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Oakland, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-5. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for Miami, any slim hopes they had at a playoff berth gone now as they drop to 4-9. And they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.